Hey there, Scipio here, and I got a new high lift jack, and I was curious, I thought maybe you would be too, what's the difference between a high lift jack bought in the mid-90s from one bought in 2017? After 20 years, are they still the same? Well, I decided to take a look at it, but first, before I get to that, right, I know some of you do not like the high lift jack. I get it. I'm not going to convince you to own a high lift jack if you're against them. But what I will say is, please don't post a comment on this video telling me that high lifts are dangerous and I should use a bottle jack or something else. Look, I've used this jack, this very jack here, for 20 years. It's been on every off-road vehicle I've ever owned. It has never left me stranded, and actually, in some cases, it has gotten me unstranded. And it hasn't hurt me, although I respect the heck out of these things. Like a firearm, right? They will hurt you if you're not careful, but if you respect them and learn to use them properly, they can be great tools. I've been sent to the hospital slicing potatoes in the kitchen, right? So everything has the potential of being harmful. But for some reason, the high lift jack is a very polarizing topic. Yes, there are other ways to jack your vehicle, even on the trail. Bottle jacks, I think they're horrible trail jacks unless you have like an axle cradle for it and a larger base. Then not so bad, maybe even with an extension. But they can work, and a lot of people use them the way they are. And yes, you can strap the axle to your frame and then use a regular jack somewhere to get some height. You don't always have to have a high lift jack. So let's just get that out of the way in the beginning of this video. I love high lift jacks not only because they make really great jacks, they also do a lot of other things that a bottle jack can't do. I can't use a bottle jack as a clamp. I can use it as a spreader, which it is a function it can achieve, but it can't clamp and compress. I can't use it to winch things. Not that I've used this necessarily to winch. I have used it as a clamp several times. I'll actually show you. I broke my old high lift jack. But anyway, that's not the point of this video, but I got to get it out of the way. If you're a high lift jack hater, hit next video right now. Go watch something else more conducive to what you enjoy. But for those of you who are interested, this is a 1995 model high lift jack. This is a 2017 model high lift jack. Now this is the extreme version, so it is a little bit different, but only really in one regard, and that's this monster thing here, which I'll show you in better detail. But anyway, let's take a closer look at these side by side. All right, so I was sort of impressed to see that after 20 years, there are a few very minor changes, but overall, it's almost exactly the same jack as I have been used to all of this time. The mechanics are identical. The dimensions are identical. The weight is pretty much identical. Both of these weigh about 27 pounds, but this one's got a 3.5 pound monster adapter on it, which makes this one feel significantly heavier. But overall, jack for jack, they're about the same. You can see they did make some differences to the jack foot, a little bit different. This is a steel and this is a cast part, so those two things are different, and that's one of the upgrades of getting the Extreme. I do notice they went to pins to hold these things together as opposed to these cotter pins. I pull my jack foot off all the time in storage, so my cotter pin is made to easily come off. But now I can use these pins with the safety latches, which is nice. The hardware is a little better, obviously, newer, upgraded hardware. But outside of that, they're basically the same jack. Height for height wise, they're both 48 inches, and yep, they're about the same. So really surprisingly, it's the same jack 20 years later. And I know the high lift has been around since way before the 1995 time frame, but you know, that's when I got this, so that's my frame of reference here. but everything is fairly much the same between the two. Now this one has seen some wear and tear. It's lived outside of vehicles for a long time. I've been currently carrying it inside the Jeep, but it has spent its life on bumpers and on hoods over the course of time. Now with this High Lift Extreme, I do have this added weight here, and that's just a heavy duty winching, clamping accessory that comes with the Extreme. It's got a chain slot in it for connecting chain. I don't know if I'll ever use it. It does have these holes that'll handle standard D-rings. Now this broke. I was using it as a clamp, and I don't know if you can tell, on each side is this little thing, this little lip that's supposed to hold it, and the lip broke off of this side. Not much I can do about it, but I was clamping some fairly significant pressure. Was I clamping or was I spreading? Now I don't remember. I think I was actually spreading, and it snapped this thing off. So I haven't used it since for that purpose. It's basically just been hanging out right there. So I'm hoping this one, the beefier one, will give me a little bit more significant clamping and or spreading ability just with the extra beef. So anyway, that's it. Not a long video. I just wanted to show you the difference because I just thought it was interesting. I wanted to see it myself, and you know, sometimes things I find interesting, maybe you will as well. But that's it. 1995, 2017, largely the same jack. So if you find an old one in a garage sale or a flea market or whatever, don't be afraid of it. All of these, they have rebuild kits. All this stuff is replaceable. And so you can't go wrong with an old High Lift. They will hold up. And the only problem I've had with this in the entire time, again, has been this thing, which is easily replaceable and doesn't affect the function of the jack itself. So anyway, that's that. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.